So then as it, so when you think of customers and you guys experience problems in the field, talk about how you guys respond to problems on the job. How you fix them.
Something I've been trying to work on more is asking more questions, just trying to gather all the information, just because on a lot of the things we do, it's hard to get, a tangible idea on what the problem is. So sometimes it means I need to go to the site, I need to be able to touch something, feel something to see what's going on here, because you have a surface level idea that may look like one thing, but it could be another. So I try to ask customers a lot of questions, or construction managers or my foreman. I try to ask them questions to get to the bottom of situations. And one of the things that I know is that I just want to be fair with people, and our people are human just like anybody else. They screw things up, and I'm never going to be one of the kind of people that says, we never screw anything up. I just want to be honest and I guess and fair.
What do you do with customers when those sort of things happen? How do you then say we screwed up, and how do you fix it? What is that working relationship with the customer?
I think that one of the things that my dad has always said is, a lot of things are a negotiation. So, I'm a flexible person, and I understand that a lot of times we got to meet you in the middle on something. So we're always doing that with customers to say, hey, we missed the mark here, so why don't we do something else extra for you to compensate for that? And we just try to be fair and say, what were the expectations? What expectations we had for a customer, expectations they had for us. And how do we make everybody happy? Obviously, there's some customers that you're never going to make happy, but there's some customers that I really enjoy working with. There's certain people, we've got a couple construction managers, whether that be CSM Group or Fiskars Construction. And we've got some good clients, just business type clients, Bronson Hospital, that we just enjoy working with because they're fair. They're down to earth people that I can have a conversation with and say, hey, this didn't go right. This wasn't what I expected. Maybe this wasn't what we talked about. How do we come to an agreement here so both of us feel good about the situation? Obviously, we don't do this just for fun. We're doing it to earn a living and to provide for our families and the families of all our employees. So how do we do that? I don't like to work for people that are not down to earth in that regard. They're hard to talk to. They're very by the book or corporate or things of that nature. So.
All right, you're getting there. I like it. So, talk to me about Kalamazoo is in your name, right?
Right.
So, So Kalamazoo's in your name. I mean, you're here in Kalamazoo. You're working. Talk to me about working for the people of Kalamazoo.
Sure. So our main area of service is from basically Kalamazoo to the lakeshore, and then from Kalamazoo to the Indiana border, Kalamazoo to Ann Arbor area, and then up towards Grand Rapids. That's our main area of focus. We have done jobs outside those areas in the past, but for the most part, that's our niche area. We're a Midwestern company, but we've got a little bit of a New York flair just because that's where my dad came from. So that gives us a sense of urgency in everything we do. But for the most part, most of our employees were born and raised around here. We've brought a few people in recently over the last few years just from other areas such as New York or California, just because we've had to go outside our area to get new talent because the industry's been so good around here the last few years.
Yeah, so a little more about Kalamazoo, because, again, it's in your name.
Right.
So just keep on talking about that a little bit, about your appreciation for what this community is and who you serve.
So one of the things I like about Kalamazoo is just the fact that it is a blue-collar area. Yes, we have some large corporations, Bronson, Stryker, Pfizer, but I like working here because a lot of people are similar to us. We can have honest conversations with the folks that we're doing business with. Kalamazoo is a great place to be just because of the Kalamazoo Promise. You know, that's something that we always like to talk about with people as far as paying for the tuition for college, you know, for kids that graduate from Kalamazoo areas, schools. Something we like about Kalamazoo is being 35 miles from the lake shore. And, you know, if you want to go to the big city, you're a couple hours from Detroit, you're a couple hours from Chicago, you're 45 minutes from Grand Rapids. So if it's something that you want to see more nightlife, or you want to do more downtown shopping, things of that nature, you can do that. But I like the feel. I feel like it's just right. It's not too big. You know, we do have a downtown area with a lot of different amenities to it, but we're also small where, you know, you can have a house with 10 acres within 15 minutes of the office. So that's one of the things that I like.
Good. So talk about customer calls, and they've got a goal. How do you take them from the phone call to finish their goal, how many ever months or years that is? So talk about cultivating a customer through the entire project, at least the part where you're involved.
So again, it goes back to asking lots of questions and trying to listen to what the customer has to say, taking lots of notes on those situations. I think a lot of things you're describing now is what we would call a design-build type situation, where we don't have an architect or an engineer involved in the job. We're just listening to what Tom needs and how we can meet that goal. So we're going to ask questions about, you know, how many people are going to be in your building, how often are you going to use it, what are the temperatures you want to meet. Then we're going to look at the code requirements, and then we're going to look at energy efficiency. We're going to look at installation ease, you know, first cost versus life cycle cost. We're going to look at a lot of these different things, and we're going to put some solutions together to give you a system that's going to work well for you. And again, the big thing is we want that repeat business. You know, we want to get customers back working with us so that they trust us and they know that we're looking out for their best interest. You know, most of the projects that we're working on are not a project that's going to be done in one day. You know, a lot of those projects are going to be weeks, months, sometimes even years long. So, you know, it's not something where we want to cut a corner in, you know, doing the design, or cut a corner in, you know, hearing out what the customer's needs are, because that's what we're always going to drill back to that when we have, you know, conversations with customers after the fact.
Good. So then, what sets you guys apart? What gives you that Kalamazoo mechanical feel, the KMI feel, the people that your customers feel?
From an inside or an internal approach, something that's different about us is that casual but also highly productive and highly motivated feel. It's something that you don't see in a lot of other businesses, because, you know, a lot of people are extremely hard driving, and it's cold and it's hard and it's not fun to be around. Or you have the other extreme where it's too casual and you guys aren't getting anything done. So that's where it's a good sweet spot for us internally, where, you know, we can have fun at work, we can enjoy what we do, we can enjoy the people that we're around, but we can also be high performance and get things done and feel good about the work that we've done throughout the day. From a customer standpoint, something that a lot of people like about us is, you know, we can be competitive in our pricing just because of the lean structure that we have here. So, you know, with 32, 33 employees, you know, we don't have massive overhead like a lot of companies do. So we feel like we can be competitive with our pricing. We're also, with our structure, you know, a customer can call and talk to me as one of the owners, and I can give them a solution, you know, on the spot. Whereas a lot of places, you know, that you may have to go up the chain to get reliable answers. That's not the case here. You know, people, you know, who want answers, they're going to call, they're going to talk to me, and we're going to get a solution. And that provides just quick reactions to problems that occur. You know, we had a problem a couple weeks ago where we had a leak in a bathroom in one of the plumbing fixtures that we had just recently put in. You know, the carpet was wet. Customer called us, got some fans brought over, delivered them to the job site, got the area dried up for them. So it was a quick problem, you know, I know, hey, we don't know whether it's our problem or not our problem, but we're going to get the fans out there and we're just going to get it taken care of, and we'll sort out what the issue is later. So I think a lot of construction managers, owners just appreciate the direct line to me and the ability to solve problems quickly and just be lean and nimble in the construction process, you know. So.
Good. So talk to me then about the history of the company and the fact that you work with your dad and what your dad offers now into this when he comes out on the job sites.
Sure. So my dad started Kalamazoo Mechanical in 1985. Again, it was just him and another service technician. They grew over the years. Again, it started with service, and then they moved into installation more as the years progressed. Now Irv is in a role of primarily mentoring. You know, he mentored me a lot over the years, and now he's mentoring a lot of our new technicians. He's giving us any kind of mentoring or consulting services we need, but he's just instilled that sense of urgency, accountability, and credibility. I mean, those are huge for him. He's not going to ever do anything halfway. If his name's on it, it's going to be done right. So I owe a lot to him just because of all the different times that he's poured into me. He's definitely a detail-oriented guy, and you know, it's just been like that since I was a kid. I remember a time that I was supposed to be washing and waxing his truck, and I had washed the truck the day before, and I went to wax the truck the next day, and that wasn't going to fly with him. You know, he said, "Nope, you're going to wash it again right now so that it's clean right before you wax it, because I don't want you grinding into that dirt into the paint." So it's just, you know, he wanted things done right, and you know, that started from when I was 14, and you know, he had me working for him here at Kalamazoo Mechanical when I was 14, when the guys would pick me up on the way to the job site. They would drop me off at the end of the day. And then I remember when I turned 16, I was on the job site, and one of the guys took me to the Secretary of State to get my ID. So I've been doing it for, what would it be, 17 years now. So I got a lot of good experience that a lot of people didn't have, just because I had a dad that was just pouring into me 24/7 when I was living with him. So although I'm only 31 years old, it's something that I had a lot of good experience that other people might not have been as fortunate to have.